Hello, all. By now, you've seen it all over the news. Now it's time for one big average bill to explain to you some of the healthcare provisions in the one big beautiful bill. All right, so here we go. So, massive cuts to Medicaid. This is something that we've heard all about, but you know what the real kicker is? Most of these provisions don't go into effect until at or after the midterm elections, providing Republicans with the political cover that they need because a lot of the pain points won't happen right away. Consider this to be issue 1A for Democrats this election season. So here's some of the highlights or lowlights, depending on your position. Medicaid eligibility cuts. So now, instead of every year, every 6 months, people are going to have to prove their eligibility, meaning able-bodied Americans between 19 and 64 years old are going to have to prove they are spending 80 hours a month either working, looking for work, or in school. Medicaid cost sharing. This goes in a little bit later, but this is going to be adding a $35 copay to a lot of the services that Medicaid recipients get. Restrictions on which lawfully present immigrants can access Medicaid. All right. In all, nearly $1 trillion will be cut from Medicaid over the next decade. Note, all of these provisions, like I said, go into effect after the midterm elections. So it is very, very purposeful the way they did it. It's politics over policy, like we see so much in Washington. Other changes are going to be on the Obamacare subsidies. So people getting insurance through the individual exchanges are going to have these subsidies, which were expanded in recent years. They're going to revert back to what they were prior to the expansion. This is going to lead to up to a 75% increase for many enrollees. This happens on January 1st. So you can count on this being the very first thing out the gate that you're going to hear politically being brought up. Democrats are going to hammer this point. Republicans are simply going to say, hey, listen, we're just reverting back to what this legislation said when it was written. So don't blame us, blame Obama. Other changes that you might want to know about: health savings account get a little bit of a boost, not nearly what a lot of advocates wanted to see. There's no change to the max that you can contribute, but now you are able to have telehealth visits or direct primary care benefits built into an HSA plan and still be eligible for the tax deduction. Also, you can expect to see in the individual marketplaces, every bronze plan, regardless of the plan design, is going to be HSA eligible. Dependent care assistance programs, also known as dependent care FSAs, have been stuck at a $5,000 reimbursement for the last many years. That is going up to $7,500 effective tax year 2026. And then qualified transportation plans get a little bit of a tweak where the cost of bicycle to work will be reimbursable expense. Quick little timeline on what you're going to see here overall. July 2025, the one big beautiful bill passes. Early 2026, January 1st, the extended subsidies for Obamacare plans in the marketplace will go away, leading to the biggest group of upset people right off the bat, people that are getting subsidized health plans in the exchange. They're going to be out for blood. Mid to late 2026, Medicaid enrollment checks begin on the last day of the year in 2026. Cost sharing kicks in October 28. And this provides all the cover again with these upcoming elections. This is the politics over the policy of the bill, making it easier for Republicans to shield themselves from some of the backlash. Bottom line, get used to hearing about healthcare again. We'll see Democrats campaigning specifically on these healthcare changes and call the 2026 midterm elections a referendum on the Trump administration. And we'll hear Republicans highlight some of the advantages of the program, some of the short-term wins of the bill, such as increased take-home pay for some, no taxes on tip, and some of the family relief baked in. So what do we think is going to happen? I think once we get through the midterm elections, we're going to see the Democrats win back the House. I think the Republicans will keep the Senate, and we'll go back to, again, more politics over policy with some of these provisions never seeing the light of day, a la Obamacare in the 2010s. The way that these policies, some of these changes are built to take place at later dates, you'll see elected officials kick the can down the road further and ultimately likely repeal some of these provisions. Thanks for stopping by. We'll do a lot more of these in the future.